Last week, a faint, almost imperceptible tremor rippled through the fabric of your daily existence, unnoticed by most. It began with a subtle shift, a fleeting sense of unease, a decision made without clear internal motive. Perhaps you took an unusual route to work or chose a coffee shop you'd never considered before. A sudden, inexplicable craving for something foreign, a conversation steered by an invisible hand. These weren't major life changes, just slight deviations like compass needles, so we swayed off true north. You shrugged it off, attributing it to stress, boredom, or simply the capriciousness of daily life. But what if these weren't random occurrences? What if they were echoes of something far more deliberate? A whisper in the subconscious, a gentle nudge from a source beyond your perception began to take hold. The air itself seemed charged with a silent hum, a frequency you couldn't hear but somehow felt. Your decisions, your impulses felt like your own, yet carried a strange, unacknowledged undertone, like a puppet master's strings, invisible and intangible, guiding your movements through the mundane. This unsettling feeling wasn't confined to you. It was a shared, unspoken anomaly across the week. A quiet discord in the symphony of everyday life, a note that was just slightly off key. Was it merely coincidence, or the first tremor of an orchestrated influence? The question lingered. The week passed, leaving behind a faint residual echo in your mind, a forgotten echo of control. We began our investigation not in a dusty office, but in the digital detritus of your recent past. Your smartphone, your browsing history, your social media, a meticulous ledger of last week's decisions. Did you search for unusual topics? Click on ads completely out of character for your typical interests? Notice any purchases you can't quite recall initiating or streaming choices that felt foreign? Even your voice assistant, that omnipresent digital ear, might hold a clue to your subtly altered choices. Digging deeper, we analyze metadata, the precise timestamps, the geographic locations of your interactions, of their clusters of activity, strange temporal anomalies, or patterns that defy your usual online behavior. The detective's instinct often finds the truth not in what's obvious, but in the glaring inconsistencies. A sudden urge to contact an old acquaintance, or an email drafted and then abandoned for no clear reason. Could these digital breadcrumbs trace a path not of your making, but one subtly laid out for you? Imagine a subtle algorithm designed not to sell, but to steer, to gently push you off course. The anomalies themselves might be tiny, but their cumulative effect could chart a new trajectory for your week. This digital ghost whispers, not in words, but in the echoes of your own unwitting consent. The data doesn't lie, but it can be manipulated, its truth distorted to serve an unseen purpose. So review your digital footprint. Did these echoes truly reflect the unadulterated you of last week? Let's delve into the science of control, not through overt force, but through unseen, unheard frequencies. Our brains operate on electrical impulses, a symphony of frequencies governing thought, emotion, and action. Could a precisely tuned external frequency subtly influence these delicate internal rhythms, altering your choices? Imagine a low-frequency pulse below the threshold of human hearing, yet detectable by the brain. Studies, some declassified, hint at research into silent sounds and their potential for behavioral modification. From inducing drowsiness to heightening anxiety, the spectrum of influence is unsettlingly vast. A frequency fence could delineate zones of subtle manipulation affecting only those within its reach. These aren't mind control rays from science fiction. They're subtle nudges, barely perceptible shifts in mood. Could certain frequencies encourage impulsivity, making you more prone to spontaneous, uncharacteristic decisions? Or perhaps a frequency designed to instill doubt, making you question your own judgment more readily? The technology exists, albeit shrouded in secrecy, to broadcast signals with remarkable precision and range. Think of the implications. Entire populations subtly steered, their collective choices influenced without their knowledge. A seemingly innocent week of choices, orchestrated by an unseen conductor, a ghost in the machine. The very air around us, saturated with electromagnetic waves, becomes a potential vector for manipulation. Is your free will truly your own, or merely an illusion crafted by a masterful frequency control? If such a frequency exists, who would wield it? What shadowy entities would possess such a capability? History is rife with whispers of secret societies, governmental projects, and clandestine operations attempting mind control. From MKUltra's notorious experiments to more modern classified research, the pursuit of behavioral influence persists. Imagine a consortium of power beyond public scrutiny shaping societal currents for their own enigmatic agenda. Their motives could be anything: maintaining order, fostering consumerism, or even orchestrating political shifts. It wouldn't need to compel a mere suggestion. A gentle sway would be far more effective and deniable. Advanced signal processing, disguised within everyday transmissions, could be the vehicle for these frequencies. Your television, your radio, even your smart appliances, potentially transformed into instruments of silent persuasion. The ether around us, once thought empty, now a battleground for the control of human will. Who monitors the airways for such anomalies? Who would either know what to look for or how to detect it? The true genius of such control lies in its invisibility, its seamless integration into the mundane. Your own thoughts becoming the enemy, subtly manipulated by external forces you cannot comprehend. The question then becomes not just who, but why would anyone seek to exert such pervasive, unseen power? Perhaps the choices of last week were not arbitrary, but part of a larger, insidious design. The whispers in the ether grow louder when you realize they might be guiding your very footsteps. To understand today's enigma, we must journey into forgotten archives, where ancient knowledge meets modern fears. Throughout history, mystics and scholars have pondered the power of resonance and harmonic frequencies. The concept of sympathetic vibration, one frequency influencing another, is as old as civilization itself. Ancient civilizations built megalithic structures aligned with cosmic energies, perhaps seeking to harness subtle forces. Could these unseen architects have laid the groundwork for future manipulation, embedding knowledge within forgotten texts? Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, even lesser-known inventors, hinted at unlocking the secrets of etheric energy. Imagine a long-lost text detailing the exact frequencies required to influence human decision-making. These archival whispers suggest that the idea of subtle control is not new, merely refined and hidden. The ghost in the machine might be an ancient spirit, awakened by modern technology and given new power. Perhaps the choices you made last week were part of an ancient pre-programmed sequence, waiting to be activated. The powerful symbolism in ancient rituals often focused on altering states of consciousness through repetition and sound. What if these were not just spiritual practices, but early, rudimentary forms of frequency manipulation? The question is not if it's possible, but if these unseen architects are truly of this world or something beyond. Our archives, our collective memory, hold fragments of truth that, when pieced together, form a chilling picture. The choices of last week, an echo of power wielded for millennia, now perfected for the modern age. Let's connect the dots. How could these secret frequencies actually reach you in your daily life? Your ubiquitous digital devices are not just communication tools, they are powerful transceivers, always listening. Wi-Fi signals, cellular networks, even Bluetooth connections, a dense, invisible web of electromagnetic energy. Could a subtle frequency be piggybacked onto these existing networks, a silent rider on the data stream? Imagine your smart home devices designed for convenience, repurposed as silent broadcasters of influence. The screens you stare at daily, emitting light and data, also emit specific electromagnetic signatures. A sophisticated modulation, imperceptible to your conscious mind, yet registered by your brain's delicate sensors. The target wouldn't be everyone, but specific demographics, individuals, or groups for precise manipulation. Your choices last week tailored by an algorithm of influence delivered through your most intimate devices. This isn't just about privacy, it's about the very autonomy of your thoughts and actions in the digital age. The digital web, a tapestry of connection, could also be a net subtly ensnaring your free will. Could the new normal of digital reliance be the perfect cover for such pervasive unseen control? The evidence, if it exists, wouldn't be a smoking gun, but a whisper in the static, a pattern in the noise. The ghost in the machine now rides the invisible highways of information everywhere, all the time. The question is no longer if, but how deeply were your choices last week truly your own? We've journeyed through subtle shifts, digital anomalies, and the terrifying potential of hidden frequencies. Now the unsettling realization dawns, the choices of last week might not have been entirely yours. That fleeting craving, that unusual route, that sudden purchase, were they truly spontaneous thoughts? The doubt, once a whisper, now echoes loudly, resonating with the very air you breathe. Your free will, that cornerstone of human experience, suddenly feels fragile, exposed to manipulation. The world around you, once a realm of personal agency, is now seen through a new, suspicious lens. Every decision, every impulse will now be filtered through the chilling question, was that truly me? The ghost of the machine isn't some distant threat, it's a silent passenger in your own mind. This awareness itself is a kind of freedom, yet it's also a terrifying burden to carry forward. How do you reclaim control when the very concept of your control has been fundamentally challenged? The subtle shudder of last week was merely an introduction, a prelude to a deeper, more pervasive mystery. We may never truly confirm the existence of this specific frequency, but the seeds of doubt are sown. And in that doubt, a powerful new question arises: are you truly the author of your own story? The world keeps turning, your life continues, but a piece of your certainty has been irrevocably altered. Sleep tight and remember the choices you made last week. Were they truly yours or merely whispers in the ether?